Madam Chair, my questions will be directed through you to the Minister of Public Safety. How many frontline CBSA officers are posted to the Canada-US border?
The Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, there are 10,000 frontline officers, both CBSA and RCMP, that are deployed to secure our border.
Sir, the member to split his time.
I'll be splitting my time in three with my colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Chair. How many CBSA officers serving on the front line are posted at the Lansdowne and Johnstown ports of entry?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I will be able to get that information from my colleague.
Well, member.
How many net new frontline CBSA officers will be serving at the land borders between Canada and the U.S. as a result of his bill?
Minister.
The investment of $1.3 billion we're making towards the border, we will have 1,000 CBSA and 1,000 new RCMP officers to secure the border.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear. By what date will they be at their posts?
Honourable Minister.
We will be able to provide those operational details to the member in short order, Mr. Speaker.
How many shipping containers are scanned on a monthly basis at the Canada-US border?
The Honourable Minister.
Again, Mr. Speaker, I'll be able to provide that information to my colleague at a later date.
The Honourable Member.
Are there scanners at the ports of entry at Johnstown and Lansdowne to scan containers or trucks at the border?
Minister.
For operational reasons, Mr. Speaker, I probably shouldn't be answering that question.
The Honourable Member.
I would encourage the Minister, through you, Mr. Chair, to either get numbers or some information, or we can both go to those ports of entry and take a look for ourselves to see the lack of infrastructure to scan the cans that are coming across the border at those two locations. How many firearms have been seized at the land borders between Canada and the United States?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there's been a number of seizures of firearms in different operations. There's Operation Blizzard that was completed recently. There was earlier a seizure of a number of firearms. I don't have the exact number, but in terms of...
The Honourable Member.
How many containers entering Canada have been found to have contained fentanyl, smuggled guns, or human trafficking?
The Honourable Minister.
2 minutes. We'll be able to provide that information to my colleague.
The Honourable Member.
How many additional containers will be scanned as a result of this bill?
The Minister.
This bill is not looking specifically at scanning. It's a much more broader bill.
The Honourable Member.
The government spending $342 million a year to collect legally registered firearms from licensed, trained, and tested hunters, farmers, and sport shooters. How much money is being dedicated specifically to interdicting firearms at the border?
The Honourable Minister.
The investments we're making relate specifically to the program of buyback, and that it's not going directly towards anything other than the buyback program.
Member.
Seems like an incredible missed opportunity, I can tell you, at all ports of entry, including those in my district at Johnstown and Lansdowne. Minister, you said, and I quote, the actual crimes, the actual issues around bail are quite sound, and they are embedded and codified in law right now. Minister, I have two questions for you. Do you think that current bail laws and the regime is working, and do you believe that Canadians feel safe?
Under address questions to the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we look forward to bringing changes to the bail program, to bail reform. But of course, this is something that involves not just the federal government, but also the provincial and municipalities as well.
The Honourable Member.
Minister, Mr. Chair, I have asked the Minister a number of questions seeking specifics on the bill that they've prioritized as number 2 in the order. Their first bill that they've put forward in this Parliament, the Minister hasn't been able to provide any of the details that would satisfy some of the most pressing issues facing our country right now. Minister, where does it say in your legislation that you will repeal any of the laws passed by the Liberals that have weakened bail conditions and allowed dangerous offenders to stay on our streets?
Minister in 12 seconds.
As I've indicated earlier, Mr. Speaker, this is not a bail reform bill, it's a border bill.
We will move on. The Honourable Member for Brantford Brant, Six Nations.
To the Minister, through you, Mr. Chair, prior to his 2015 election, you practiced business, real estate, and human international rights law, but never criminal law. Is that correct?
The Minister.
No, it's not correct, Mr. Speaker. I did a fair amount of criminal work as well.
The Honourable Member.
Your previous roles as Parliamentary Secretary to former Justice Lametti and your brief 2-month appointment as Justice Minister this year, have you ever attended a courthouse to observe a bail hearing?
Through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Not recently, but I have attended many bail hearings.
The Member.
Through the Chair, have you observed a bail hearing since becoming Minister for Public Safety?
The Minister.
In the 3 weeks I have been appointed, no.
The Honourable Member.
Does he intend to?
Minister.
In 2022, former Justice Minister Lametti said at committee, Canada's bail system was strong and sound despite calls for reform from premiers and police. You doubled down on that statement on April the 15th, stating bail in Canada is quite sound. Do you still believe that?
Mr. Speaker, that is obviously taken out of context, but we will be working on bail reform, and we look forward to working with the opposition on it.
The Honourable Member.
That was the minister's exact words during an election debate. Will you admit it's putting putting violent offenders back on the street?
The Honourable Minister.
We need to do better on bail, Mr. Speaker, and we look forward to bringing forward legislation to that effect.
The Prime Minister recently appointed Lametti as Principal Secretary in the PMO, the same minister who was fired by Justin Trudeau, who authorized the illegal declaration of an emergency and who gutted and weakened our criminal justice system. Are you proud of that appointment?
Again, through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Former Minister Lametti is an outstanding Canadian of true integrity. He is an academic, and his stature is beyond reproach by this Parliament.
The Honourable Member.
Former Justice Minister Varani said at committee that he was proud of the fact that he and his government delivered bail reform through the passage of Bill C-48. Does he still hold that same belief?
The Honourable Minister.
Bill C-48 was a result of consultations and engagements we had with the provinces and territories. We will continue to do those engagements and bring forward appropriate.
The Honourable Member.
On the same day of his swearing in, Minister Varani said Canadians do not feel unsafe in their communities and that perception of crime is largely in their heads and that an increase in crime is empirically unlikely. Do you agree with that statement?
The Honourable Minister.
I can't speak for former Minister Varani, but I can tell you the police chief for the City of Toronto has indicated that auto thefts are down by 39%, home invasions down by 42%, homicides by 67%, shootings by 46%. I confirmed with them.
The minister promised to tighten bail rules just last week, but why didn't he do that in Bill C-2?
The Minister.
This is a border bill and not a bail bill, Mr.
The Honourable Member.
The minister called catch and release a myth. How do you explain repeat violent offenders committing more crimes while on bail?
The Honourable Minister.
We look forward to working towards enhancing bail, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member.
If the bail system is quite sound and working, why are police chiefs, premiers, and victim families saying the opposite?
The Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I've addressed this issue a number of times, and I will reiterate that we will be bringing forward reform to our bail system.
The Honourable Member.
The minister and his crime czar are saying that they're getting tough on violent crime. So why did the minister vote to eliminate mandatory jail time for gun and repeat violent offences in Bill C-5?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have time to answer this question in a robust way, but I do look forward to having a conversation on this with the front office.
The Honourable Member.
The government has kept in place mandatory minimum penalties for auto thefts, yet eliminated it for trafficking, production, importation, and exportation of fentanyl, a deadly poison which has killed 50,000 Canadians since your election. Are you proud of that?
Through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, on April the 28th, Canadians gave this government a mandate to do many things, including address issues around the criminal justice system, as well as securing the border.
Left total.
Why is the minister prioritizing property theft over deadly drugs?
The Minister.
My number one priority since being appointed to this role is to bring forward Bill C-2, Mr. Speaker.
Final question.
Will the minister apologize to victim and families who have lost loved ones on his deliberate inaction on fentanyl sentencing?
The Honourable Minister, very briefly.
Mr. Speaker, I've been in this role for 3 weeks.